Once you buy a personal accident cover, you always get what you call a policy document, which contains the contact details for the company, for your agent. The person we may need, we can possibly rely on so much is two guys. Number one, a doctor. Number two is a police officer.
Hi everyone, I hope this video finds you well. My name is Martin, in case you are here for the first time. Na sisi ni watu wa insurance. We do civic education as well as reviews on insurance, especially within the Kenyan market. Now today we want to talk about personal accident, not necessarily describing what it covers, because we have done, I think, a number of videos touching on personal accident. So in case you haven't watched that video, I'm going to leave that link in the description box below so that you can go and watch. You understand the details of what the personal accident covers and what it means. But today we want to talk to a person who already has a personal accident cover, and maybe something has happened to you, umepata accident or an incident, and you want to claim to be paid for that particular case. So what is the procedure like? How do you follow the insurance company to be paid? So in this video we want to talk about step-by-step guide on how to claim for a personal accident cover. In case you want to buy a personal accident cover, motor insurance, though that part is comprehensive, we have a platform where you can go and buy in minutes, and you compare quotes from different companies, and the link is in the description box below. So kimbia hapo hivyo, check for yourself. The procedure is straightforward, very easy to use, very friendly interface. So kimbia hapo hivyo, click on that link, buy yourself a personal accident motor insurance in 2 minutes, and we'll be able to process for you that cover. Without wasting much time, let's get into the video. Karibu sana Bwana Mwai.
Thank you, Martin. I'm here again now because as you have put it, we have continuously encouraged our viewers to buy a personal accident cover, and the most basic question we've had for quite some time now is, now that I have the cover, that is for personal accident cover, for even medical, what is the procedure like when claiming? Because that is the essence of you having that particular cover. So the very first thing is when you have that accident and possibly you are conscious, but sometimes you may find it not really possible to report it. Yeah, so the very first thing is you need to notify the insurance company, and you can do that in two ways. You can either share an email, because once you buy a personal accident cover, you always get what you call a policy document, which contains the contact details for the company, for your agent. So you can first of all notify them, so that they be aware that the client has had possibly an accident. So you can also use your agent or your insurance agent. If you bought it through a bank, you notify the bank. If you bought it from a normal intermediary, that is the people we call agents, you notify them and let them know that you have had this scenario and you need to claim. So that is the first thing, notification.
Maybe I cut you short a little bit.
Yes.
We said for a motor accident or maybe an accident,
yes,
motor vehicle accident, you cannot report after 48 hours.
Okay, so what we basically do, it's a scenario to scenario basis, because sometimes accident may happen and you become unconscious, or you fall into coma, so that one is acceptable. So what we encourage you to do is, within 48 hours, let your insurance company know that you had an accident and you are claiming. So that is the position, but sometimes or some situation may require you to delay. Yeah. So that is the first thing. The second thing you need to do is you need to gather the required documents. Yeah, in this case we are talking of the policy document you had when you got that personal accident cover. The second thing you require is your ID. Yeah, you also need a police report or police abstract, and finally a medical report, or what we usually call a P3. So that is the most important document. Once you gather those, you ask a claim form from either your intermediary, either the bank or the insurance company, or through your agent. He can provide you with that claim form, yeah, and that one will help you now to formally show or to formally lodge a claim. So that is the third process. The last, not the last, but another key area, because of course you cannot fill in that claim form and then you put it under your cupboard. Yeah. So what we say is that once you fill in that claim form, you need to submit it either through your agent or you can do it directly. Yeah. So that now they are aware. Finally, the most important thing is to wait for what we call the assessment. Sometimes we may not take your word because the person we may need, we can possibly rely on so much is two guys. Number one, a doctor. Number two is a police officer. What is very key is now you wait for assessment. Of course, insurance company may not really take your word. They may also require to send someone to assess the truth. They may be forced either to go to a police station where you reported this, or a doctor, your personal doctor, to assess the truth under that claim. And then once the assessment is done, usually within a week, that should be over. And finally, you wait for the payment. The payment, of course, comes in between 1 and 60 days. So it is the personal accident cover is usually paid on what we call reimbursement. But if it is, for example, death that happened, the next of kin will file or will lodge the claim through the same process. And if the person or our customer is not buried yet, the insurance company, because of course you will find that majority of personal accidents have that extension of last expense. So before the burial, you may find an insurance company even compensating, and then the major payout is paid after the delivery of those important documents I've talked of. If it's death, we need either death certificate or death notification. You need the policy document, the ID of the insured, and the ID of the next of kin, because you cannot claim if you are not part of a next of kin list. You get? Yeah. So basically that is the process. To simplify it, you need 5 steps. Number 1, you notify the insurance company. Number 2, you gather the documentation. Number 3, once you gather the documentation, you fill in the claim form. And then once you fill in the claim form, you submit it to the insurance company. The assessment is done, and ultimately the payment is now received within 60 to 90 days, depending with which insurance company or depending with the scenario. For death and permanent disability, that one may take longer, because of course there is certification by the doctor that these particular incidents or this particular injury will cause possibly a permanent disability. But of course you can't know whether the knee is permanent disability, may cause permanent disability within a week. No, it may require some kind of waiting. Yeah, because we have also seen, we have done this practically. But the most important thing is, if you have a very a good agent, he will help you in the entire process without you really having to move from either your workplace or your home when you are still in shock. So that is why we are asking you to trust us with this process. Give us that work of personal accident, we give you the cover, and then we shall follow up in case of anything through our platform. And you can also call us through our main numbers, which is always on our platform. Yeah.
Part of what personal accident cover pays,
Yes.
is death.
Absolutely.
We said if someone dies,
Yes.
they are paid a lump sum.
Yeah, there is a lump sum payout.
So what happens if a person
Mm-hmm.
dies and probably nobody knows that they have a personal accident cover?
Ultimately, the moment the insurance policy expires and we never had any claim, that's it. If, for example, we had our client who unfortunately dies out of an accident and no one in the family knows, the moment we realize that it happened within the timeline, we shall pay. Yeah, and that is why we always encourage our clients, let someone know once you buy this personal accident cover, because they are time sensitive. It usually takes 1 year. So if you have it, always have either a family member know, or maybe a friend. He can help you. He can help us locate a family member that would possibly follow up on the payout.
So watu wenye wanachukuaga in secrecy wajichunge sana.
Wajichunge sana. You can't lack someone whom you trust. Hata kama we've had people say, I can't tell my spouse because he or she may plan something ill for me out of knowing that I have an insurance. Kindly, because that money you may end up with, we call it unclaimed fund, yeah, authority, which is not important, because of course the main reason of you taking up that policy is that in the event I'm no longer there and I have a young family, their life may not really stop because of my absence. Yes.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you very much for the presentation.
Yes.
And as always, we encourage our viewers to keep sending us those questions. If you're not satisfied with maybe our review today, you can specify the gray areas that you feel we need more explanation. Mm-hmm. So thank you very much for watching this video to the end, and I hope we gave you value for your time. And make sure that you go in the link in the description below, buy for yourself a personal accident. We have a number of companies. We have 2 companies to be specific, the best companies for that particular product. So ingia hapo kwa link, chagua, buy. In 2 minutes we'll be able to process for you that cover. So thank you very much for watching to the end, and I hope to see you in the next one. And until then, God bless you and bye bye.